On the 30th of March, a fax came to John Hume in the SDLP office from Downing Street, and the fax was Downing Street's draft outcome for Strand 1. And the only other person to receive that fax was David Trimble. And then a revised version came as well. And we checked. Paul Murphy, as chair of the Strand 1 talks, knew nothing about it. George Mitchell, as chair of the talks, knew nothing about this Downing Street approach, nor did the Irish government. And it was clear to us from reading it, it was based on Jonathan Powell's conversations with David Trimble. It wasn't a basis for agreement, and it certainly wasn't even a basis for negotiation. We had a very angry meeting with Paul Murphy, not so much about the content of the facts, but we said this is an inclusive process. It has to happen here. And if the Prime Minister wants to contribute, he needs to come here. John Hume went to Downing Street and told Tony Blair that we were not going to negotiate with a fax machine, that if he wanted to contribute, and he should come over, but that the talks should remain inclusive, that was a powerful difference between these talks and previous talks. And I think that it's very important to remember that and underline that. And then in the final week, there was, as John says, there was the massive reaction by the Alliance Party as well as the Unionist Party to the way in which the Strand 2 paper had been presented. And that got into a situation where for 2 or 3 days that was the sole issue. We couldn't get anybody to talk to us, even about Strand 1 or about anything else. But the fact is that the two Prime Ministers, their presence, and particularly in the circumstances of the Taoiseach, really did concentrate minds. And the Taoiseach, it wasn't just that the Taoiseach was generous and good and committed in being there. He was focused and he was masterful in taking us from the brink of failure over the line of success.